Today we are working Psalm 49. Some traditional magical uses for Psalm 49 include to increase psychic powers, to overcome the envy of the prosperity of others, and for help when dealing with a serious illness. Today, I would like to use Psalm 49 to overcome being taken advantage of by another person. If you feel like somebody's taking advantage of you, this is a great psalm to come to for that. The way we work psalm magic is simple, easy, and effective. We take the psalm in question and we recite it out loud once without stopping. Then we go back through the same psalm and we consider each verse in turn, one at a time. We search for hidden, sometimes called occult meanings that lie within each verse. And then we do our best to apply whatever we find in each verse to the situation we brought to the psalm. By doing all of this, we are actually dislodging those magic seeds right from the psalm and allowing them to be planted in the depths of our minds, where they take root, they grow, they blossom forth, and they bear fruit after their kind. And that is exactly what you and I are going to do right now with Psalm 49. Hear this, all ye people. Give ear, all ye inhabitants of the world, both low and high, rich and poor together. My mouth shall speak of wisdom, and the meditation of my heart shall be of understanding. I will incline mine ear to a parable. I will open my dark saying upon the harp. Wherefore should I fear in the days of evil, when the iniquity of my heels shall compass me about? They that trust in their wealth and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches, none of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to God a ransom for him. For the redemption of their soul is precious, and it ceaseth forever. That he should still live forever, and not see corruption. For he seeth that wise men die, likewise the fool and the brutish person perish, and leave their wealth to others. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. Nevertheless, man being in honor abideth not. He is like the beasts that perish. This their way is their folly, yet their posterity approve their sayings. Selah. Like sheep they are laid in the grave. Death shall feed on them, and the upright shall have dominion over them in the morning, and their beauty shall consume in the grave from their dwelling. But God will redeem my soul from the power of the grave, for he shall receive me. Selah. Be not thou afraid when one is made rich, when the glory of his house is increased. For when he dieth, he shall carry nothing away, his glory shall not descend after him. Though while he lived he blessed his soul, and men will praise thee, when thou doest well to thyself. He shall go to the generation of his fathers, that they shall never see the light. Man that is in honor and understandeth not is like the beasts that perish. This is the inner guide beseeching all of the thoughts in your mind. Anytime the congregation is addressed, it's addressing the thoughts in your mind. Rather than being a direct invocation to the infinite, this is an instruction to those thoughts in the mind. So you can think of this as your higher self speaking to all of the various thought forms. Since today what we are focusing on is overcoming being taken advantage of, we are recognizing that the power of overcoming lies within us. And it's important that we first understand that we have to get our mind together. We have to work with all of our thoughts in tandem. So it says, hear this, all ye people, all the thoughts. Give ear, all ye inhabitants of the world, all aspects of my life, all parts of my being. Both low and high, rich and poor together. We're going to not have any judgment about what we think is good and what we think is bad about ourselves. We are recognizing that we are one person, that we are a unified being. My mouth shall speak of wisdom, and the meditation of my heart shall be of understanding. And so when we work psalm magic, it is as a meditation. It is as a conjuration and a focus of all of our mental powers. This inner guide, this higher self, is teaching all of those parts of us wisdom and learning how to open the heart. And the heart in the Psalms is the deep mind. Learning how to open up that deep mind so that it is filled with this wisdom. I will incline mine ear to a parable. I will open up my dark saying upon the harp. The higher self is acting like the bard. The psalmist is a bard. And as we pluck the strings of the harp, we are allowing the surface mind to quiet so that the deep mind can be receptive to the spell. The parable, the story, every bardic understanding, the way that the bard works, is it bypasses the conscious mind and it moves right into the deep mind where all magic works. Wherefore should I fear in the days of evil, when the iniquity of my heels shall compass me about? We're looking at this situation of being taken advantage of, and we're asking ourselves, where in the midst of this problem is my fear? What is compassing me about? How can I be clear as to what the problem is so that it can be solved? It's so necessary for us to define the problem in order to solve the problem. They that trust in their wealth and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches. So now we're addressing the oppressor here. And in this particular case, they are taking advantage of the person financially. For instance, somebody that has a lot of money and can just sue you, knowing that you don't have the resources to defend yourself. They can control you because they have all of that wealth. They're going to use their wealth against you. Now, your being taken advantage of may not be financial, but it's symbolic. They that trusteth in their wealth and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches, none of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to God a ransom for him. So in the eyes of the infinite, there is no rich and poor. And in fact, the person oppressing you, even though in the temporary world seems more powerful than you, in the eyes of the infinite, that's not so. And in fact, they are going to have a harder time in the long run because they're going to have to undo all of the errors that they're making. For the redemption of their soul is precious, and it ceaseth forever, that he should still live forever and not see corruption. And that's you. No matter what seems to be happening in this world, and it may not make that big of a difference to think of this in the moment when you're being oppressed, but understand that in the long run, there's nothing that can harm you. There's nothing that can disturb your soul. There's nothing that can make any difference in regards to who you are to the infinite. And the infinite and you are one. And since you and the infinite are one, and you have all power when you are one with the infinite, whatever is happening here is not really happening. It's not really happening the way you think it is. So when we're focusing our mind on who we are as souls connected to the infinite, we are moving out of the problem and into the realm of the solution. No longer being hypnotized by the problem, no longer being afraid of this person taking advantage of us. For he seeth that wise men die, likewise the fool and the brutish person perish, and leave their wealth to others. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. The person taking advantage of you is being described as a very wealthy person who believes that their wealth is going to buy them immortality. Because they're so wealthy, they can name colleges after themselves, they can name hospital wings after themselves, they can do all kinds of things that they think is making them immortal, when in reality, the soul is what is immortal. And the more that these people put their faith in that, the longer it's going to take them to undo all of that so that they can find where their immortality actually is. Whereas you're understanding that you are an eternal being right now, and that in truth, this oppressor has no power over you. And the realization of that, especially as we get through to the end of the psalm, is going to be enough for you not only to feel better, but to be released from the problem. The realization of all of this is enough to release you from the problem. That's how powerful this type of magic is. Nevertheless, man being in honor abideth not. He is like the beasts that perish. This their way is their folly, yet their posterity approved their sayings, Selah. Understanding that the oppressor, by doing what they're doing to oppress you, is like the beast that perishes, because they're putting all of their faith in that which perishes. They're putting their faith in their wealth, perhaps, in this particular case. Whatever it is, they're putting their faith in the material world, which by definition is temporal. It will die. Whereas you are putting your faith in the eternal, which is your soul, which not only won't die and not only will live forever, because that's how you were created, but also has the power to remove you from the situation, has the power to lift you out of the situation. Like sheep, they are laid in the grave. Death shall feed on them, and the upright shall have dominion over them in the morning, and their beauty shall consume in the grave from their dwelling. And this is a reminder that you're going to be victorious in this, and they are not. There's no way that their oppression can last. There's no possible way that they taking advantage of you can last. And when we do magic, it speeds the whole thing up. Now, in these Psalms, it likes to be very dramatic about it, telling you that, like sheep, they're laid in the grave, death will feed on them, and the upright, meaning you, will have dominion over them in the morning. So it's just going to take an evening, basically. It's not that long that you have to wait till you have your victory. And their beauty shall consume in the grave from their dwelling. So whatever they think is powerful and beautiful and fabulous about them is going to be gone. That's the nature of people that put all of their faith in that which is temporal. People that put their faith in oppressing other people because that's what makes them feel powerful. It may work for a time, but ultimately not only does it end, but it takes them a long time usually to overcome that, to undo all of that. Whereas you don't have to worry about that because you're putting your faith where it counts, and that's in your soul and your connection to the infinite. Now, this is your higher self speaking in the first person, but it's including all of the congregation. It's including everybody in your mind, all thoughts in your mind. But God will redeem my soul from the power of the grave, for he shall receive me, Selah. So whereas the oppressor is going to be in the grave and be in trouble, you, in the morning, it said, are going to be redeemed. And what is redemption? It's like a distillation process where the soul is extracted from that which is mortal. Your redemption in this particular case is not only, like when you die, but it's from this situation. Very quickly, very surely, very certainly, you are going to be extracted from this situation, redeemed from this situation, and victorious. And they're going to have to deal with their own problems that they've created for themselves, and that's really ultimately not your concern. Be not thou afraid when one is made rich, when the glory of his house is increased. For when he dieth, he shall carry nothing away, his glory shall not descend after him. So, if you take this at face value, it's talking about don't put your faith in your riches because you can't take it with you, right? But in regards to this situation, whatever they're using to oppress you with is also temporary. So even if you didn't do magic, it would eventually end. But since you're doing magic, you're getting right to that redemption. You're getting right to that place where you are extracted from this situation. So don't be afraid of them. Don't be afraid of this person. They may seem big and powerful now, but they're not. And the infinite and you are working in tandem, and it's just a matter of a very short time before you're out of whatever this problem is. But while he lived, he blessed his soul, and men will praise thee when thou doest well to thyself. He shall go to the generation of his fathers, they shall never see the light. It seems like these people are so powerful in the moment. It seems like nothing will ever stop them. It seems like they can get away with anything and that there's nothing anybody can do about it. And when they fall, it's instant and it's dramatic. It's the bigger they are, the harder they fall. That's very true. And so the more that they puff themselves up, the more that they oppress, the harder it's going to be for them when they fall, because they will fall. They will fall. Man that is in honor and understandeth not is like the beasts that perish. And that's exactly what this situation is. This beast of a person, this beast of an organization, this beast of a group of people, whoever it is that's taking advantage of you will perish. And they are in the process of perishing. Now, we're not saying perish like this psalm is going to kill them, but it is going to make sure that whatever this oppression is going to die. Their power to harm you is not going to last. In fact, it's not going to last but a night time, according to this psalm. And at nighttime, everything's going to be better in the morning. That's a symbol of you don't have to wait long. Don't worry. It's not that long. The infinite is on it, and you and the infinite are working in tandem. All is going to be well. And if you can keep your eye focused on that truth, it speeds up the process even more. No longer are you afraid of this person. No longer are you fretting over this situation. You know that this is on its way out. So you just keep coming back to the same psalm once a day until you get a sense of peace and certainty about your situation. And once you get that sense of peace and certainty that it's working out, it's a signal to you from your deep mind that your spell has been cast. And when you get that sense, it's time to just put it out of your mind. Don't work on it anymore. Move on to something else and let it work itself out. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I so appreciate you. Until next time, blessed be.